All right, so let's start this broadcast with a big story that we are tracking on WION at this hour. A former president of the United States of America, Donald Trump, was arraigned and arrested at a Manhattan court on criminal charges. With this, Donald Trump has become the first ever sitting or former president of the United States of America to in fact face criminal charges, to be arraigned and to be arrested. Donald Trump, remembered, surrendered to face the criminal charges stemming from the hush money payments that he had allegedly made back in 2016 to a porn star called Stormy Daniels. Now, many within the United States have in fact dubbed this extraordinary chain of events as nothing short of a political witch hunt. And our correspondent Susan Tehrani has been tracking the story very closely for us and has sent us this report from New York. Take a look.
A defiant-looking Trump, two officers refuse to hold the door open for Donald Trump as he enters the courtroom.
President Trump, will you come speak to us?
There were no mugshots, rather a stone-faced former president, lips pursed in apparent anger. Manhattan District Attorney in a terse tone saying the charges brought against the former president are based on false statements made to cover up other crimes, considered a felony under New York law.
We today uphold our solemn responsibility to ensure that everyone stands equal before the law. No amount of money and no amount of power changes that enduring American principle.
The reaction outside the court gave an indication of how the case has split opinion in the country.
Well, a lot of people are pretty tired of Trump, and a lot of people feel like this circus needs to end at some point.
Of course, he's innocent. Not only he's innocent, he sacrificed his billionaire lifestyle to save this country.
Former president has been spewing, vitriol and a lot of arguably nonsense, and I feel like the charges brought apart him are appropriate.
Back in Florida, Trump declared himself a victim, terming the entire case a witch hunt.
The only crime that I have committed is to fearlessly defend our nation from those who seek to destroy it. For our elections were like those of a third world country. And now this massive election interference at a scale never seen before in our country.
While some say it is a moment of supreme shame, the Trump team immediately used the situation for a battle cry. For all his bravado, 76-year-old Trump is in serious trouble. During his decades in the public eye, he has shown an astonishing ability to wriggle out of legal corners, whether during his many business disputes or even as president, when Republicans acquitted him in two unprecedented impeachment trials.
The question is whether or not he'll be able to convince enough independent voters that he deserves another shot at the White House. A lot to ponder and a lot of questions left unanswered. But one thing is for sure, Donald Trump's lawyers have said that they are willing to fight to the very end. Susan Tehrani reporting from New York for WION World is One.
Remember, this is a case, a sensational case that has got the Americans on tenterhooks. We've been continuously tracking these developments, and we spoke to multiple experts throughout the day on this case, which Republicans allege is clearly a case of a witch hunt. Now, listen to what some of the experts have to say about these legal proceedings that have now been initiated against the former American president.
I think that what we are seeing with this case is the testing of boundaries between the legal system and the political system. And it has been vehiculated a lot that this process has been currently politicized. Falsification of business records in the second degree is a misdemeanor charge. So we are looking at misdemeanor charges, which are right now considered to be felonies. If, however, the falsification of these documents is meant to cover up some other criminal act, then it becomes a felony.
There is a concern amongst, at least quietly behind the scenes from Democrats that maybe this wasn't the first case that should have gone out there. The classified records that were found at Mar-a-Lago is potentially a much bigger case and a much more challenging legal problem for the former president. So I think this is the beginning of his legal woes.
Simply having an affair, then paying her not to talk about it is one thing, and he wouldn't be charged for that. But again, this falsifying the records and then the related campaign finance violations are a potentially serious crime, punishable by up to 4 years in jail. The combination of those charges does constitute a felony.
WION is now available in your country. Download the app now and get all the news on the move.